Hey there viewers, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome to our channel. Got a 2007 Chevy half-ton here, 5.3 liter. The guy brought it in because he says he has no oil pressure, but he drove 30 minutes to get here. I assume he has oil pressure, so let's tear it apart and see what we find. Well, this thing's a real gem. I don't think there's many lights that aren't on. Traction control lights on, tire pressure lights flash, and ABS light, engine light, but what we're after today is that. According to the gauge, it has no oil pressure. And according to our code reader, this is the code we get: engine oil pressure sensor circuit high voltage. I've got the Veris plugged in here, so let's go in here and have a look at some engine data. See what we find. Let's get rid of a lot of this garbage. Engine oil pressure switch. Let's just have a look. And our engine oil pressure, I don't know if you can see that or not, is running at 129.8 psi with the key on, engine off. What I'm going to do then is climb up there on our underhood creeper, unplug the switch, see if it drops to 0. Alright, here we go. I'm going to climb up there and unplug it. And it dropped right to 0. So honestly, with that being the result, I would say that the sensor is more than likely just shorted out internally, shoving the whole, because it's just a typical 3-wire sensor. I believe they probably have a 5-volt reference, ground, signal return. I'd have to look to be sure, but I did see it as 3 wires. So with it being shorted out, high voltage, high pressure, I'm going to say the sensor's shorted. It went right to 0 when we unplugged it. Now if we unplugged it and it stayed stuck high, then we'd have to chase this down a little bit further. I'm going to go ahead and get a sensor. These things are a real pain to get to. I mean, you really have to reach around the back of the engine to get to these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sensor. Easiest thing to do, just plug it in. Probably take my blow nozzle, stick it on the bottom of it, give it a little shot of air, see if the gauge rises and falls, and move on with life. All right, we are back. Got our new sensor from Chevrolet. Let's see what happens. All right, so I plugged the new sensor in, and it's already good results because it's reading at 0, unlike the old one there where it was stuck at 128. So like I say, I'm going to go and blow in this with a blow nozzle, and we should see some rise and fall in the graph here, assuming I can do it. So I can't see the scan tool from where I'm at, so hopefully this works. Alright, there, that's a quick test. Pretty simple, shorted out oil pressure switch. Got to use a blow nozzle to test it out before we went ahead and went through the painstaking efforts of changing it. Like I say, you kind of got to bear hug this engine to get to these things. They're kind of a pisser. Anyhow, let's pull this, get this old one out of there. It's almost impossible to record. I mean, I can't see it with my own eyes, let alone shove a camera back there. So going to get this swapped out, and then we're going to clear the code and start it up and make sure our gauge inside the truck works, and we should be good to go. Alright. Okay, so I got the new one put in. Changed the switch. Changed the screen, obviously. This is the combo that I used to get back in there. This is a little snap-on ratchet I like to use. It allows you to set the head at whatever angle you want, lock it down. And then I use a little 1-inch extension in combination with a wobble tip there, because that gives you just enough to get back there with a standard oil pressure switch socket. Gives you a little bit of rotation so you kind of tip out of the way. Plus it has enough offset to reach around the back of the intake manifold. You know, pretty much use it like that. Gets back in there and you just, you know, it's a quarter turn at a time or eighth of a turn. But anyhow, it's better than tearing a whole bunch of crap off to get to it. So that job's done. Let's look at the scan tool. Fired up. If it fires up, because the battery was pretty much spanked when I went out to get in it. So let's see if it worked. It should. Here we go. So what do we got? Hey, look at that. Got 50 pounds of oil pressure. Let me give her a little rev up tune up. Alright, looks like it shot up to 62 and a half or so, so I think we fixed it. Alright, so if you're working on this yourself, where it's located, well, that's the butt of my flashlight right there, but basically back here where the light's shining, right in the rear dead center of the engine is where it is, right directly behind the intake manifold. So let me see if I can get my little camera and we can maybe shine back there for you. Let's see, I got my camera wedged back there, but now we can see even you're on the computer screen, it's real hard to tell, but I mean, that's just the top of the sensor. There's a little standoff back there. I mean, that's the connector on it. Like I say, there's a little standoff on the back of the block that it comes up on. They're kind of a pisser to get to, but you can do it by feel. There you have it. It's all fixed. We're all done. Cleared the codes, engine lights off, oil pressure gauge in the truck works now. Well, I better show you that, shouldn't I? Not that I didn't think you wouldn't believe me, but I figured, what the heck, I'll show you anyways. So I'm gonna see if this fellow wants to buy a battery, because who wants to jumpstart their vehicle every single time they want to drive it? At any rate, it's fixed. We're all done. So thank you for watching. And just remember, I'm just an ordinary Joe. I don't have ASEs, LMNOPs, formal training or anything like that. So just remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.